Hotep. I am that I am. Some call me Heru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist. Back at it here for you with episode 125. Yes, episode 125. Tell your story. Tell your story. We're live here on Instagram. We're live here on YouTube. And we're live with the podcast show. Giving you some exclusive information, exclusive energy. Feel the vibes, as the brothers say, feel the vibe, feel the vibration, feel the vibration. Come on, come on, feel the vibration. Shout out to all those of you and thank yous for everybody touching the planet, in the planet, within the mind, the body, the soul, as we enter a new dimension, as we getting ready to enter a year, a new renewal of understanding of mind, body, and soul. I want to give thank yous. I want to give comments. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for putting the podcast show on #1 status. Thank you. Appreciate you. Shout out to all my Instagram viewers. Shout out to all my YouTube viewers. Shout out to all my podcast viewers. We will be entering a new millennial. Just shout out to you. You can always let others know about the podcast show. If you ain't got the podcast show, you know who's this, the host with the most, the modern monk, here live 24/7, 7 days a week. Once a week, we give it to you. And we've just been uploading. We actually been doing some new things with the podcast show. Hooking up with the blog, got the blog cracking, got some new articles coming out, got some new things coming out for those of you who value life, podcast connections. You can always do You Are the Gym live at //podcast. You can always connect with us on Podbean, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and many more. All the social media, pretty much all the main social media connections. You can always see You Are the Gym. Like I say, You Are the Gym representing live and direct. Billions informed per day keeps the stupidity away. Yes, that's billions informed per day keeps the stupidity away. Now, let's get into the sponsors. Shout out to my brother, Wellness and Health, Dr. Boz Moreno for Method Moreno. Website, drbozmoreno.xyz and drbozmoreno@.com, as well as email support at methodmoreno@gmail.com, methodmoreno@gmail.com. That's support at methodmoreno@gmail.com. You can always text his company at 404-462-0571. That's his office at 404-462-0571. And if you want a discount, this is the discount, 15% off. Put in Modern Monk 15, Modern Monk 15 for all products and services. Definitely representing from stem cells to apoptosin, bee venom. This is your resources, health modalities. This is the brother right here, Dr. Boz Moreno. He's been helping me, and you seeing the gains. You seeing the gains all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And look, I only work out like twice. I've been working out recently since I've been back in Denver. I've been working out maybe twice a week. Really intensive workouts, even though I get a lot of work doing work. But to my next sponsor, Lifestyles Barber Academy, to my brother Lamont Styles, shout out to you. You can reach his academy at 33720 9th Avenue South, Suite 2, Federal Way, Washington 98003, the USA. Website, lifestylebarberacademy.com. Email lifestylebarberacademy2017@gmail.com, as well as phone number 253-517-5345. Business hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And you know, at the most, the fitness and mental toughness, you know your brother. You can contact me at the Modern Monk, Heru the Modern Monk. You are the gym body, and you are the gym understanding. Website youarethegymlive.com, as well as youarethegym.com. Email me at youarethegym@gmail.com. That's youarethegym@gmail.com, as well as text a brother 206-659-6382. That's 206-659-6382. You know, we got that merch on sale. We got that merch on sale. We got these teas on sale. We got other things coming out too that's been releasing here and shortly. So tune in to that. So let's dive into this episode. This episode is going to be pretty short, but we want to definitely get to the point of what's going on here within me, within you, touch bases with what's going on with these common events, our so-called current events that we're experiencing today. And my point of this title was Tell Your Story. And what I mean by tell your story, it's interesting enough because we tend to focus on other people's issues instead of really paying attention to what our own issues as far as our own growth, our progression, and what we need to do to grow, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. I think we tend to focus too much on everybody else's story instead of focusing on our own story, if that makes sense. And we'll get deeper into this because, storytelling has always been one of those it's in a way it's kind of got that mythology to an extent of who you are or who you are becoming, right? Because that's really what when you put it in perspective, that's what it's really focusing on. Storytelling has always been an interesting element. I don't think I was me personally. I don't think I was always a good storyteller, even though I have been conditioning myself or preparing myself as I progress within these storytellings, as I go deeper and deep diving within the podcast scenario or writing, because I usually write a lot. So the writing actually allows me to tell my story in more detail, even though now, since we got all this technology where we can transcribe or we can have somebody dictate our particular what we're actually explaining or talking about, storytelling. So let me give you a little feedback on how I literally got in this position or got here to where I'm at right now. Always had an opportunity where I was in front of people, always engaging in front of people. So from singing to rapping to enjoying a play. One of the inspirations in my life has been my auntie, as they would call it, my auntie Frances. She was always inspirational for me. She was a great singer as well as a great actor. She can or play actor if you want to go there. So I was always inspired by becoming the best manifestation as I can be. And when it comes to storytelling or even acting or playing a part, being a part of a team or playing my part to the fullest, right? As telling your story. I always was engaged, or I always put myself in a situation where I had to play my part or be a part of a team that actually connected, or allowed me to use that passion or that energy to convince or to persuade people, right? And that's what life is all about, really. Life is all about selling yourself, right? Selling yourself to those who you to want to be in your life, if that makes sense. Like I said, a lot of us don't want to put ourselves in that position because we tend to have these connotations or impressions or impersonations of other people dictating or suppressing our confidence, right? Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. But you can do that if you engage or take ownership or take responsibility or take accountability for your actions. Telling your story, right? Telling your story is very unique. Don't take me wrong, a lot of people have some boring stories, but the boring story should make you or break you, as Mr. Napoleon Hill would say, as that female will make you or break you, add to you or take away from you, right? So, storytelling. I like to go more in detail in this, but I think this is more of a subject matter that we'll dive deeper into as we keep going within my progression of development of this podcast show, not just of this podcast show, but of my format in general. I'm working on some things currently right now that are actually, I want to engage people more. I want to engage them to start thinking, because that's a problem we're having in this society. I'm noticing it more and more. People don't want to think for themselves. They want others to think for them. They want others to do things for them that are actually conducive or benefit them to an extent, but then it doesn't benefit you. You depend on others, and that's a problem. I think that's really a problem with our society, because we have come to a point where we're dependent too much on this government telling your story. And the government is interesting too, because we really don't pay attention to what the government how the government is set up. We think we know, but we don't know. um, and public servants, think about this: public servants, they supposed to play a part to embrace you, to enhance your communities, your neighborhoods. But that hasn't been the point. The point is they're making a lot of money, and people maybe call me a conspiracist or whatever the case may be thing, but I don't really care. I don't really give a damn when it comes to that aspect of it. I'm like, look, we question everything, but then at the same time, we question everything, right? We question everything, but then at the same case, it's all about progress. What can you do? What can you do? You see what I'm saying? What can you do? The only thing you can do is live a quality life, the best quality life you can live, a more optimal life you can live. You personally, not him, her, and they. And I'm not trying to dictate and tell others how to live their life. All I'm saying, here's an opportunity for you to question where you're at and where you want to go, right? Tell your story. So a couple of weeks ago, I was actually looking at some information or looking up some information. Um, my my little storytelling or my venture when I was out in college, out in back in 1995, when I was out in Itasca Community College, and I was just seeing, some updates, looking at the website, see what they had available, see if we actually was still relevant, if that makes sense. We actually had an opportunity. We was national champions. We were national champions. I was an All-American during this period of time, 1995. We became national champions. Division 3, but we was number one in that division. Uh, in the Yeah, number one. We actually our team was number one. Our wrestling team was number one. Interesting enough, they wasn't documenting or videotaping or any of that stuff was actually relevant on the website, besides the names and some of the people who was actually involved in the later years. But interesting enough, I was looking up trying to find some update articles and stuff when I was actually in the papers during this period of time. As we was moving, as we was doing our thing. Matter of fact, I got to look up Minnesota during that period of time during the 1990s, mid 90s, where I was actually involved in this school or college, and we was actually kicking ass. Period, kicking ass. We was definitely kicking ass and taking names. So the story. So why am I talking about the story? Because the story actually builds the foundation of who you are or what you actually becoming. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do you be inspired? What's your inspiration? Far as working out, staying active, you know, Look, my goal is to live as long as I can live a quality life with everything functional, everything working functionally in a capacity where it makes sense, in a capacity where I'm able to think, in a capacity where I'm able to move my body like I want it to move. Even if I'm want to play basketball or something like that, sports or whatever the case may be with my nieces and nephews, whatever it may be. That's my point in life. That's living. You know what I'm saying? That's living, getting on your own terms, being on your own terms and setting a foundation, because I'm really about self-sustain. My goal here in the next year, I want to be self-sustained. I'm talking about away from these jobs, you know what I'm saying, away from these institutions that are actually taking from you, not adding to you. They're taking from you. So I do understand the migration or the great migration of the job, people quitting their jobs, and moving on, and the goal is really expanding your lifestyle, right? Expanding your lifestyle, but at the same time, building a quality lifestyle, building a valuable lifestyle. That's the problem I'm not seeing. Um, that a lot of people they're going to these jobs and just going to another job, even though they don't have no idea what they want to do. That's the funny thing too. They don't have no idea what they want to do because they haven't been experiencing anything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all a job is. A job is just a step. You feel me? A step in the right direction where you want to go, even though you're building the skills that you need to build. For example, selling yourself. You feel me? Selling yourself. I have a program, um, high mile transformational system, but it works with the mind, right? It works with the mind. Build the mind first, the mind and everything, the mind, and then the body will follow, right? Because if you don't have no discipline up here, you ain't gonna have no discipline anywhere else. We see it within our structures. We see it in the institutions. We see it everywhere. And the funny thing is, people seem like they don't get it. People don't get it because we tend to work hard, or we think we working hard. Because look, I'm gonna. This is to all the millennials. This is to all the millennials. One of the things is, how the fuck you got this mindset where you think they owe you something? This is the problem with the millennials. And it's funny too, because it's not just the millennials. Now you're starting to get the older generation think, oh, because you did this, you did that, they owe you that. Nobody owe you shit. You feel me? Nobody owes you shit. You got to earn it. You feel what I'm saying? That's what fame and fortune is, right? They earn that position. They earn something special. They got something special that they're willing to put out there, to take the risk. You know what I'm saying? To take the risk to tell their story, to build their story, as Will Smith say, brick by brick. You put brick by brick, but you got to find good bricks, and you got to find the application, the real application to stick those bricks to keep that wall building, right? Or to take it down, whatever the case may be. But you have to have the intelligence to be able to build that, or build your story, or build that self-sustained endurance body to withstand certain issues that you may encounter in your life. It's not just luck. And I'm kind of going a little bit everywhere, but my point is it's gonna come in circle. It's gonna build this. I'm building this foundation for you to really see what's actually out there. You feel me? Because these youngsters, they think they know everything. That's the funny thing. They think they know. They think they know. Really, they really think they know, but they don't know shit because they haven't experienced it. That's the key thing, experiences. You know what I'm saying? That's why people tell their story, or their story is told by others that actually had the experience with them. Oh, work harder, work smarter, work harder, right? Harder, smarter, smarter, work harder. Because it's all into one if you're utilizing it right. You see what I'm saying? If you utilizing it right. Now you telling me, what do I utilize? What is the takeaway from this particular situation or this particular dialogue that I'm talking about, telling the story? Now the takeaway is understanding that you have to start questioning what you are doing, what you represent. You feel what I'm saying? And people are gonna knock you 24/7, hands down. You know, I get a lot of issues too. I'm not privy. I'm not exempt from it. You know what I'm saying? I got to live a life, but I got to live a quality life I know how to live and willing to take those steps to better myself. You feel me? To better myself, just like you, to better yourself. All these events that's going on, these current events, why are you participating in them? Why are you giving them energy? They don't really have nothing to do with you. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I can see if it's direct, if you're working in an environment that is not conducive, that is not positive, then you're going to have to get out or do something about it, right? You got to do something about it within you. You can't, you see what I'm saying? You got to do something within you. I'm not going to be sitting here running up a wall. I know the wall is not going to come down because it's a lot of bullshit going on around here. You know what I'm saying? It's a facade. A lot of this shit is a facade, right? You know, they're taking you out of your element, in other words, or you getting out of your element. Let me say it like that. Because I know with even with the retail game, I mean, those of you who know me, I work at a Home Depot. And the funny thing is, Home Depot's actually making me more negative because the understanding of not just the employees or certain associates that we're dealing with, we're talking customers and the whole nine. You feel what I'm saying? People in general, the understanding where people in general, they're not thinking for themselves. They want somebody to do this and do that for them, and then got the nerve to complain about the results because it's not working for them, right? This is where you got to start taking on your own ownership. You got to start taking accountability, period, hands down. I work hard. When I work out, I work hard. I know what I'm benefiting for. I know what I'm setting myself up for. That's another thing, too. Working in a tactical mindset, having a tactical mindset, regardless of where you're at, it's gonna be other people. That's the funny thing. They always talk about happiness. Happiness is within, right? But happiness do spark without, because you're dealing with other people, right? You're dealing with other people. You're dealing with negative energy. You're dealing with everybody so fucking sensitive about shit. Period, hands down. And I think we got to get away from that sensitivity. Ralph Tresvant. I need a man with sensitivity, a man like me. Yeah. See, we becoming bitches as we keep moving forward in this society, right? We becoming bitches. And what I mean by that, men can be bitches, females can be bitches, the whole nine. Let's keep it real. Transgenders, all that shit can be bitches. Let's keep it 100 here. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the takeaway here, because I'm going to keep this short and sweet, tell your story, build your story, elevate your story, incorporate your story, allow yourself to take on more responsibility, ownership of you. Stop always giving somebody else the power because you have the power. And I'm going to leave it with that. Peace. I'm out of here. And I'm out of here, my brothers and sisters. Let me get on out of here. Much love. We gone. Peace. Yep.